Here we go. Here we go, brownies. The kids cardiac. Catch me in the Muni where the party at. Dog pound, turn up with the elf up on my starter cap. Brought him back. Boy, we from the land and we proud of that. Louder man, front to the back. Here we go, I got him shouting that. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Game on the line, Joe Thomas, I promise. Jim Brown running through opponents, how I got this. I return like Josh Cripps. Hand for the mini, got the dog pound jumping. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Mr. Hero's turning 60. We're proud to have served your favorite cravings for 60 years in celebrating what we do best. Thanks, Ohio.
I crave a hero.
Be sure to get the Mr. Hero mobile app. You can get buy one, get one offers just for signing up. They've got great offers there. You can order food from the app, so go check out one of their many Northeast Ohio locations, or go check out our friends over at Mr. Hero.
And now they got sidekicks to make like 100 different combinations of, you want a Mr. Hero with your mozzarella sticks, whatever you got. They got any? I tell you what, the menu is massive. Again, those cheese sticks, I was shocked how good those cheese sticks were. So.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it. What's happening, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Here We Go Brownies podcast. I'm Allie Ellery, coming at you live from Pensacola, Florida. Joined with me, as always, in Cleveland, Ohio. We've got Dustin. Dustin, what is happening?
Well, I mean, we all saw the news. Mary Kay Cabot broke it first on Cleveland.com. You go from the fourth team to the first team, and you get to, well, not on the depth chart, but you actually are going to start a football game on Friday night against the Carolina Panthers. We're going to see what he's made of. I'm excited. The city's excited. The fact that I believe, and you can tell me what you've seen as of late, he will go against first team defense. It sounds like in that football game for Carolina, they're going to throw some of their first team defense at him. Obviously, he won't have first team our Browns players going, he'll have his second team, third team guys, fourth team guys he'll have in there. But hey, you know what? He's already seen the first team defense of the Cleveland Browns. That's a pretty good test with Myles Garrett and crew. So, Allie, I'm excited to see what he's got. Like, hey, here's your shot, man. Here's to be able to showcase what you're made of.
Yeah, I think as we go into this preseason as a whole, not just preseason week 1, but preseason as a whole, I mean, be prepared to see a lot of both of the rookies. This is kind of their time to shine. It's exciting that Shamar's getting the start. Of course, you're not going to have Jerry Jeudy out there, Cedric Tillman, so it is going to be fairly limited in terms of who he's throwing the ball to. We don't know exactly who's starting in this game just yet. Kevin Stefanski said by and large some of the starters will be resting. So don't expect to see a full-blown Browns offense or defense, really. But it's fun. This is exciting. It gives us something to really look forward to, something with hope, something with some excitement, and just football back. I think everybody's really excited for that. This is going to be a fun matchup. There's a lot to look forward to. We're going to get into what we're excited about, but expect this preseason as a whole to see a lot of these younger guys. You're going to see, of course, we don't know what the injury status is on some of these, but you're going to see a lot of Shador, Dylan Gabriel, at certain points through this preseason, and even probably Kenny Pickett's going to get some valuable reps. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled on what's going to happen offensively. I'm excited to see formations, what they're doing, what personnel groupings they're running. So we'll have a lot to talk about this time next week. But Dustin, let's just kind of get into it here. Let's open up with first let's open up with some news. The Browns go out and sign Tyler Huntley. David and I play this game anytime that there's like a big NFL trade or anything regarding the Browns, but a big NFL or NBA trade, he'll say like, oh, there was a big signing or a big trade, and I have to like guess who it is. So he said, hey, the Browns signed somebody, and I said, okay. And he said offense. So I'm like, okay, it's probably a receiver, probably a running back. said to him, I said, "No way, it's a quarterback." And he goes, "Well," and I said, "You got to be kidding me." So
Well,
that
I
was
put a nice little meme out there when I said when Cleveland Browns fans wake up the next morning and realize there's 6 quarterbacks on the roster. Like, that's insane. Now we all know why. I mean, when you look at the why, it's 2 are injured, they can't really play. Flacco is sitting. Deshaun Watson is not playing at all, probably this year completely. So you got to have a backup, right? And when you don't have a backup, you got to find a backup to start in a preseason game. That's the conundrum.
We're talking about Deshaun Watson and who else?
No, I said when you have 6 quarterbacks, you got 2 that are somewhat injured, that being Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, that can't go full strength because of their lingering injuries. You're stuck now with Flacco not playing because they've already said we're resting him. Obviously, this is to look at the other guys. You have to go find another guy to give you reps in a preseason game. Like, you're not going to throw Shedeur Sanders out there for 4 quarters. That's just,
Definitely
I mean,
not.
he's already got arm soreness allegedly, right? Like, that's crazy. Like, you can't do that to a guy. It's not fair.
Yeah, you're right. And it's somebody that is familiar with this offense.
Right.
Because we know he was around all of preseason last year and then let go. And welcome back, Tyler Huntley. I was surprised when I saw that, but I guess you're right. It does make sense, especially just needing some arm talent in that room. I don't hate it. Like, I liked Tyler Huntley last year. I remember when he was cut, I was like, wow, that was actually kind of surprising. I expected him to actually make the roster. Last year it was between DTR and Tyler Huntley, and a lot of us, even on this podcast, Dustin, thought maybe Tyler Huntley would get the nod.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know why I just always feel like the Cleveland Browns are in a quarterback carousel or hell, or a combination of both.
That's why.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I was sitting in my office, and I work for 92.3 The Fan, and we were having this conversation, and it was like most people would think we're crazy if we were sitting in a room, and they're like, "Why do you guys root for Shedeur Sanders to make it, or these guys?" I'm like, because we just want to win football games at the end of the day. Like, we don't care who the quarterback is out there, as long as he can give us some kind of capable play. We're okay with that, but it's like we just want to win. Like we just want winning, and they're like, "Yeah, that is kind of crazy when you think about it. That's all you want is winning." At the end of the day, nuts for me.
Consistent winning, a little bit of hope here and there. I mean, is that too much to ask for?
Clearly, being a Browns fan, that's a lot to ask for. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Dustin, before we talk about the preseason game, why don't you tell our listeners about our newest sponsor, Crystal John Toney?
Yeah, Crystal John Toney. If you are looking for expert real estate advice, she just closed a house, I believe, today. So she is the local expert here. She knows the market. She's born and raised in Cleveland. If you're looking to be an investor-minded strategy, she can help you find some return on your investment, cash flow property, or any types of things. But reach out to her. That's Crystal John Toney. Obviously, you'll find her on our Facebook page and other places as well. We'll get you some more information out on her. But yeah, look for that. Look for postings for her. She's also going to join our fan cruise. Here we go, Bronny's fan cruise, September 6th. She'll be there being able to talk to some folks about some listings and some of the stuff that she does here in Cleveland. I always find Cleveland property very wild, Allie. So you have urban living, downtown, apartments, condos, the burbs. I mean, there's so many, or just investment property that you want to flip. It's a very diverse market. And from what I can tell, talking with her and other folks, it's about 10 to 15% undervalued. So what we know what that is, it's a great time to buy real estate or list real estate because Cleveland has actually become a very hotbed for investment. So Chris will be a great person to reach out to.
Yeah, definitely. Also want to tell you about our friends over at Stadium Mustard. Guys, if you don't have Stadium Mustard in your kitchen this season, you're doing it wrong. The iconic brand, the iconic taste, beloved from ballparks to backyards and everywhere in between. Stadium Mustard is a smooth brown mustard rich in both taste and tradition. By the way, loved by millions. So be sure to head on over to stadiummustard.com to shop now. Let's get into this preseason game against the Carolina Panthers. We know that the Browns had joint practice with the Panthers. In Carolina, we know that Deshaun Watson traveled with the team, which, was kind of surprising to a lot of people. Just really haven't seen him outside of the weight room publicly. So that was interesting to see. But just want to open up the discussion here in terms of what we're looking forward to the most in this preseason game. And I kind of want to take the quarterback situation out of this. We'll talk about that separately. But outside of quarterback, Dustin, give me 3 or 4 matchups or position groups, personnel packages, etc. Just anything. Give me kind of three things here that you're looking forward to seeing in this matchup against the Carolina Panthers in preseason week 1.
Yeah, I mean, since we are running out with Shedeur Sanders, some of these wide receivers that I've got to see in camp, like Floria, and some of these, guys that are going to be fringe 54-man roster, 53-man roster type of guys, I'm excited to watch that group because I feel like of these wide receivers that are in that group, somebody's going to get that spark and be like, he's got to be on the team. He's got to be on special teams. We got to keep him. So I'm really going to be looking at the wide receivers first and foremost. And then, the tight end group, because this is going to be a heavy tight end set like Fannin and some of those other guys. I'm really excited to watch the tight ends because we're not going to probably see Njoku in this game. I'm assuming that's assumption, but to see the other tight ends and how they develop behind Njoku, because we love Njoku, but if we've got 2 tight end sets and how they're blocking, these are some of the things I'm going to be looking for to see if they can, be capable. I think Fannin's going to be phenomenal, but again, I just want to see him with live action against a first-team defense.
Yeah. What else you got? Anything else?
Offensive line. This one always scares me, right? Cornelius and some of these guys that we brought in as free agents to back up our starters. These are guys that we know the offensive line never stays healthy, Allie. How many times have we sat here and said, hey, we're going to get Joe off the street because we don't have depth at offensive tackle or guard? And look what we've dealt with Conklin and these guys with injuries. So I want to see how these guys do on the offensive line and if they can step in and be that capable backup. So those would be probably the 3 phases. I'm not worried about the defense. I think the defense is going to be damn good this year. So really for me, this offense it was 32nd ranked in the National Football League last year. So I want to see some improvement on offense. So those are the 3 phases I'll be looking at.
See, personally, I am excited to see the defense. And I think we can expect for it to be good. But I think we can also expect for there to still be somewhat of a learning curve. I think we're going to expect that almost every year. Every time you go into a season, kind of regardless of what your defense looked like the year before, just because a lot of training camp, it's not real live tackle reps. You're not throwing these guys out there. Maybe, of course, they're in the line of the ball or kind of where the ball is being placed to be able to make a play, but then they don't finish the play because obviously, they're just kind of 2-hand tapping or indicating that they're close to being able to make a play. So I think going out and getting these live reps is going to be really interesting. Specifically, and I see this comment here and I want to highlight it again, kind of took the words right out of my mouth on what I'm looking for. Mason Graham, especially on the defensive line. I'm very intrigued to see what this defensive line can do without Myles Garrett, of course. Who are we seeing on both ends? I would imagine a lot of Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Really excited to see what that rotation is going to look like. And this is kind of what I'm looking forward to in this game against the Panthers, but also just this preseason as a whole. Safeties, he mentioned Ronnie Hickman. I'm also excited about that. Safety group I actually fairly confident in. You've got Grant Delpit there. You've got obviously you've got Ronnie Hickman, but Rayshawn Jenkins, they bring him in, DeMonte Kazee. I'm excited to see these guys in action. And Dustin, we talked about, okay, who's going to be the defensive play caller? It's most likely going to be Carson Swessinger if I had to put money on it now, but excited to see kind of the back end of this defense and what that's going to look like. Who's stepping up, really kind of calling the plays. Is that going to rotate? Are we going to see different guys do that? I don't know. Offensively, a couple of things.
I was going to say at the linebacker position, obviously I'm rooting for Jerome Baker, the hometown, coming back, and Nathaniel Watson, those guys behind, like you said, those guys on the linebacker position, I'm looking to see how they improve as well. That was just a couple of guys that stood out that I mean, defensive wise, yeah, those guys, but then the guys that are rotating with them to see how well they play in this game.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you mentioned Harold Fannin, but specifically how they're going to use him. The thing with Harold Fannin Jr. is he's very versatile. We know this. He can line up at tight end. He can be a traditional blocking and pass catching tight end, but you can throw him at fullback, halfback. You can throw him in the slot. Excited to see what they do with him offensively. And I would expect in this week one of the preseason, a lot of just traditional tight end reps for Harold Fannin Jr. Don't really expect to see a lot of David Njoku out there. But if you've got him, and then you've got Blake Whiteheart out there, I would be curious to see, how they're going to use him. I'm sure they're not going to show their hand on some of their,
It's true.
utility pieces here if they feel that they have that in Harold Fannin Jr. But excited to see what that looks like. Dylan Sampson, who I've heard has looked really good in training camp, excited to see him go out on the field. But in this game specifically, and I don't know how much we'll see, I'm excited, for the Panthers side of things. I'm excited to see what Ted McMillan looks like out there. He's a big receiver who I think kind of got a little, with all of the Sanders and Travis Hunter talk in this draft.
Got overshadowed. Yeah, got overshadowed.
Overshadowed. So excited to see him out there. I'm curious to see how he stacks up against our secondary. I'm really curious about that. And that brings me to another point. Our secondary. What is that going to look like? Specifically the corners. I'm excited about Cam Mitchell in the slot. I know Greg Newsome's been doing well outside, kind of battling through a little bit of an injury right now, more of a precautionary situation there. But, I'm just excited to see football. Ultimately, I saw Jason's comment here that he's just going to be watching everything. But, I think that there's a lot to look forward to in this game that's going to be very telling potentially on what the rest of the season is going to look like.
Yeah, it's kind of a dress rehearsal for the preseason, right? We don't see a lot of the starters, but man, these guys that we drafted, right? This is really a dress rehearsal to see. And you're right, Carson, he passes the eye test for me when I see him out there. The smacks and the hits and the intelligence that's coming out of this player. When people said this, I thought they were kind of crazy, but they're like, it reminded them a lot. Now, these are people, Allie, that, have been watching this since childhood. And for them, and I know this is a big statement to say, but man, when they said they're watching out there, they're like, man, that reminds me of a young Clay Matthews. And you kind of just have to step back and like, well, you're putting that with some pretty hollow conversation at that point. But California kid has that swagger, that confidence, so did, obviously that's where Clay Matthews comes from. But boy, if we get that right, Allie, if we get that right and we get that kind of player, holy crap. We hit the lottery in a lot of ways, but Carson so far looks the part of a starter in the National Football League.
I think he's going to be a significant player on this defense, especially without, Jeremiah Usukorma and Jordan Hicks, two huge losses in his same room. When they made that selection in April, it was like, okay, well, clearly they know something, they need to really bulk up the linebacking room. And it's like, okay, this can be a great addition. But to now say, hey, he is going to be a significant role player for this team. It's true. We're talking about him being a green dot guy. And for him to come in his rookie season and potentially be able to do that, I just think speaks volume to who he is as a player. And I think the sky's the limit. I think we've got a great steal in Carson Swessinger.
Well, and to think about, to bring him in, and Cameron Justin brought this, that's a lot to ask of him as a rookie. She even was hesitant to say, I don't know if I want to put him out there. That's a lot to put on a kid. But clearly he's absorbing the playbook. He's clearly absorbing the speed of the game and what is being thrown at him. So clearly they're throwing as much at him, and he's absorbing all that and internalizing that, and that's turning out to be perfect on the field when he's executing. So, hell, let's go. If he's got that tangibles, and some guys just have the it factor. They come in, they know it, they understand it, and we talk about this all the time. But a guy gets picked in the first round, right? Looks like the stud linebacker or whatever, and then a guy like this that's really good and has a lot of rah-rah about him, but not as much as the guy that has all the profile. And then this guy ends up being better than that guy, right? We talk about, we've done this on this show, which I think is fun. Like, if we redrafted, right, who would we take at this position and that position? And a guy like this is, we hopefully look next 2 or 3 years and be like, man, he should have been a first-round guy, right? Like those are the kind of things you see from some of these players, but you don't know for about a year or two. But man, he's got all all the looks of being a great player.
Well, I think he's got both. He's got the profile, but he's also got, kind of that underrated viewpoint from a lot of the national media. A lot of people aren't going to know who Carson Swessinger is until they know who he is, which I think will be very soon. And I think, it's really cool to know that he was a walk-on. He wasn't a 5-star guy. He was a walk-on and really had to grind to get to where he is today. And he was an early 2nd-round pick. I really think he was a steal, but you're right. If we go back maybe in 3 or 4 years, I bet he's a type of player that you'll say, man, how did he make it out of the 1st round? Just like JOK from a couple of years ago. How on earth did he make it out of the 1st round? But thank God that he did. So I think we got a guy in Carson Swessinger. I really do. All right, let's, Brian, we're going to bring him on here in just a moment. David, get ready.
Paging Dr. Uller. I'm thinking of that song is in my head now. Paging Dr. What?
Yep. We'll bring him on here in just a second. And then, of course, that the topic there was who are you looking forward to, or what are you looking forward to outside of the quarterback position? So let's talk quarterback quickly. And there's really not a ton to talk about. We know that Shedeur Sanders is getting the start here. Really excited to see him go out and perform. I don't know really what to expect out of any of these offensive play calls. Are we going to see him come out and just throw bombs? I wouldn't expect it, but you're going to see a lot of probably safe play calls this week one just to prevent any type of injury. We don't want anybody getting hurt. You're going to see a lot of short, intermediate passes, screens, things of that nature, some play action. I don't think that we're going to be throwing any like hospital balls out there. Hopefully that's not what we're going to be doing. So I wouldn't expect anybody in this preseason to come out and just say, hey, they are clearly the week 1 starter, put them in. I think this is all practice. And that's just something to keep in mind for every quarterback. I think we're going to see, outside of Joe Flacco, a lot of everybody else at certain points during this preseason. What do you think, Dustin?
Yeah, like I said, I'm excited. I think they're going to throw a lot of guys out there because we obviously have a lot of young faces to go along with the vets. And because of that, Shedeur Sanders is going to get his chance. But I will, it's interesting. You're right. The deep ball means the play takes longer to develop, which puts the quarterback in harm's way, right? Because
we will see some, but like I wouldn't expect them to.
Oh, no, I don't think it's going to be an air attack. No, but I'm saying it would be nice to just see, 30-yard, kind of lay it out there and just see if a Floria type. I mean, I saw it in camp. I mean, he put a beautiful 30-yard just boom back, right there it was. I mean, I'd love to see that in an NFL game. More importantly, when we speak of all this and what we're excited to see, this is going to sound weird what I'm about to say, but I don't know if you got to see Shedeur Sanders has kept his dad out of training camp and told him not to come because I'm only getting 4 passes or 5 or this. Man, I can tell you this. I guarantee you Deion Sanders called his son up and said, I am not going to miss you starting your first game in the National Football League. I'm looking for a flight from Denver, Colorado to Charlotte, North Carolina. I guarantee you that conversation happened because if I was his dad, I would definitely want to say, well, this is your moment. I'm going to come watch because I'm excited to see, his dad to be in the building and see that because to be from, lower level football to, Division I football to not having an offensive line and getting killed at that place and then being, I mean, what he has done in this remarkable, and by the way, props to him. He's put his head down. Mm-hmm. He's worked in the room. He's given all the praise to Joe Flacco that he's, been a sponge of. I love that. Even though Joe Flacco says he's not a role model, I think he likes the kid. And you can even see they are chummy at practice and he's in his ear and he's asking questions. So you know what? I don't think this is going to be too big for him. I really don't. And I'm excited to see how he does under the lights because we all know under the lights and between the white lines, it's a whole nother ball game other than training camp. So I'm excited to see how he takes the pressure under all this situation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to poise, a short memory, really looking forward to seeing that. Accuracy, one thing that we know about Shedeur is his ability to layer the ball. Excited to see that in real time with real, first team pressure coming from the Carolina Panthers. Excited to see that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and just thankful that football is back. Let's go ahead and bring David on. This is Medical Moment brought to you by our friends over at Lorella Vineyards.
Here we go, Brownies Nation. Larry Lorella from Lorella Vineyards. Dustin Cook from Here We Go Brownies. We're here to talk a little bit about Here We Go Brownies wine. Dustin, let us know.
That's right, guys. The season wasn't what we wanted it to be, but the wine is amazing. Platinum winning, award winning wine. Here We Go Brownies wine. Come get it here at the winery or go to lorellavineyards.com. And remember, a portion of every single one of these bottles goes to the Greater Cleveland Food Bank to help those that are in need and hungry. That's right. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Woof, woof.
All right, let's bring him on, the husband of the program, Dr. David Ullery. Hi, David.
Hi, Allie. Hi, Dustin.
Paging Dr. Ullery. There he is. We've paged him. He's in the operating room. All right, here we go.
Sorry for the delay there. I was getting dinner ready.
Well, hey, Uber Eats from Pensacola. I'm in. Let's get it up here. What are we eating tonight?
We're having a little homemade steak ramen.
Oh, that's pretty good. By the way, there's a great ramen place up here. Random, by the way, if you guys are up in Cleveland. Mason's Creamery. We don't like to give free plugs, but I will give this one. I love ice cream. I'm addicted to it. Anybody that knows me, I could eat ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know if you know that, Ollie, but I'm addicted to ice cream. It's a real thing. But in the wintertime, when they switch over from ice cream, they make homemade ramen. It is amazing. And people will line up around the corner for this homemade ramen. And I was like, is it that good? And then I had it and I go, oh, wow, this is amazing. And I'm not even a ramen guy, but I'm like, okay, I see why everybody lines up for this ramen. So,
hell yeah. Nice.
Mason's Creamery.
All right,
Wow.
we'll check it out. We'll have to look it up.
In the winter time, which, by the way, you might be up here visiting for Christmas and family. So, yeah, homemade ramen.
David, let's get into it. I know that we've got some things to discuss. I'll turn it over to you. Take it away, big dog.
Yeah. So first thing, just to comment on what you guys were talking about earlier with is Dion going to be at the game or not to support his son with his first start? I guess part of that remains to be seen, just because I'm sure people are aware he did have a procedure last week for bladder cancer. So he had a pretty aggressive form of bladder cancer that required removal of the entire bladder. And so what they did, which is pretty cool, not really my expertise, but they ended up removing part of his small intestine and used that to create a new bladder. So that way he still has somewhere for urine to form and collect, and he can still pee and not have to have a catheter all of his life, hopefully. So seems like a pretty big surgery to recover from. So we'll see if he's going to be in Charlotte on Friday or not.
I think he has a private jet. He can just get on and go.
Sure. The issue will be how many times he has to run to the bathroom during the game or not. So we'll see. All the best to him. Obviously, we know he's had some health issues over the last couple of years, and so good to see that in his press conference after the surgery that he was in good spirits and doing well. But anyway, so on to more Cleveland-related news then. A couple things on kind of the injury report, if you will, for the offseason for training camp here. Back on August 3rd, we know Greg Newsome wasn't available for the practice on Saturday because of a shoulder injury. But again, these are things that they're just listed as questionable. They're not put on the IR. They're not put on the PUP list or anything. So, kind of probably a bruise, contusion, some soreness. Shouldn't be a big issue there. The other two formally listed, which you guys already alluded to, are Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, both with hamstring injuries. Kenny Pickett did participate in 7-on-7 drills today. Gabriel did not participate in the 11-on-11 drills today. So, those guys are just nursing some soft tissue injuries that these things pop up, and hopefully we can get through them quickly. One other note, I guess, would be Grant Delpit has not practiced for a couple of days as well. Kind of an undisclosed injury. He's not on the injury report, so kind of unsure what to make of that. But again, none of these seem to be serious lingering issues for now. And then there's one more, the wide receiver. I can't think of his name right now.
For the Browns?
Yeah, with the hand fracture. This is.
Speaking, while you're looking that up, I was going to say, I got to see Greg Newsome Saturday. I was out there with the Browns backers, presidents that were in town for this weekend. And those people know how to party. Let me just put that out there. They know how to have a damn good party. By the way, the Florida group down there, They came in force. Let me just tell you, we were closing down Jolene's Country Bar. Those guys crazy.
Nice.
But Greg Newsome, he was suited up, David. And to your point, I don't, because it was up here because people were asking him and he was going like this. I think it's because they didn't want to have contact on that area that they just didn't want him to get hit there, basically. So you're right. It's probably just something lingering where he got hit and they don't want it to get aggravated more. So to your point, there's the Cleveland Zoo. It just arrived.
There's the showtime.
You can't
By the
skip it.
way, side note, I swear to God, I'm just going to say this on the show. I believe David is like an animal whisperer. He has to be. The cats come, the dogs come, like they just come, and like he's a calming presence.
He's got that smooth, velvety voice that the animals just gravitate towards.
Yeah, there's something about it, you know. So Michael Woods, that's who I was trying to think of, is Michael Woods.
Yeah.
So he had the hand fracture and he was waived, but they anticipate that as long as he clears waivers, they're going to re-sign him, which I would expect it will be the case. So that's kind of the rundown on injuries, at least for now. Excited to see how things shake out Friday and to see who gets some playing time and what we're able to learn from the team.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, David, question. I'll throw this back at you. Allie asked me this. What are you most excited to look for and see on the offense and defensive side of the ball?
That is a great question. I don't know if I would say excited. Curious to see what happens at running back right now. I am excited. Of course I'm excited, but I just, not having Quinshawn and having to kind of fill in the gaps there is a little questionable. So that one I'm just kind of curious to see how they manage it. But I think you guys already talked about it. I'm very excited about Harold Fannin Jr. I think he's a great prospect and seeing what he can do at tight end, and just even like Allie, you said earlier, kind of in the traditional tight end role for this first game, most likely getting those just tight end inline snaps. I think is going to be really exciting to see how he performs at the next level. And yeah, defensively, the writing's on the wall when it comes to what we're all excited about there with Carson Schwessinger, and how he can get. How he can develop as a player in the middle of that defense.
There's a lot to be excited about. I really think there is. And I know if you scroll on Facebook for too long or Twitter for too long, I mean, it's just scrolling about this team. Everybody's up in arms about this or complaining about this. Look, these are practice reps. And I think that we're going to see a lot unfold over the next couple of weeks through the rest of just what we're able to see through practicing and through the preseason. But I think that obviously the question is and always will be the quarterback situation for right now. But everybody else, skill position wise, the lines, this defense as a whole, there is a lot to be excited about. And these rookies, like what can Dylan Sampson do? I think that he's kind of given just a prime opportunity right now because we know what Jerome Ford's going to do, who he's going to be, who he is. But behind a really good offensive line and a very shifty, I almost said freshman running back, rookie running back, what he's able to do without Quinshawn there. I mean, just what an opportunity for that kid. And honestly, I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be a really good back. I thought he was going to get drafted a lot higher than what he was. I think he was a steal where and when the Browns got him. But he's going to be thrust into a role that I think that he's absolutely capable of handling.
It's interesting you mentioned that. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened to him, but imagine if this Cleveland Browns team didn't draft a second running back right now.
Right.
I mean, think about that just for a scary moment. We would be in a really bad situation. What's your take on the signing of the Bengals guy? I know they brought him in, obviously, to just get some reps. He's been around the league, former Cincinnati Bengal, excuse me. What's your guys' Williams, right? Is it Williams? Does that sound right? Trayvon Williams?
Yes. Travion Williams. I think having anybody in that room right now is good. But I mean, ultimately, I don't know. It's hard to speculate on who's going to make this team at running back outside of right now, Jerome Ford, Strong, and Dylan Sampson. Outside of that, I don't know. It's really kind of a shot in the dark. I think that they will keep another guy. I mean, once they get this figured out with Quinshawn Judkins, it's most likely him. If I had to guess, but if he is suspended, he won't be on this roster. just depending on when he's suspended, right? Won't be
Right.
listed on the he'll be on the commissioner's exempt list, so that'll open up a roster spot. They will keep 4. I think that it's possible that they probably maybe claim somebody off of waivers as this preseason goes on. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's really hard to speculate right now outside of those top 3 on who's going to be here.
But I just can say, the running back position, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, you bring up a good point, David, how they're going to manage that, right? Because there's only so many running backs, and you're saying you're not having starters. So we're going to see Toa, probably the guy from UNR, former player. You're going to see Williams, Sampson. I mean, you're going to have – I think they're going to be a heavy rotation of running backs because obviously they're not going to try to show their cards to, the NFL, what they're trying to run as type of offense they want to throw out there week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals. But you're right. I mean, there's going to be – it'll be and maybe we will see more passing because of that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because, we are depleted at running back. We might see more pass plays. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. And I think that you'll see a limited amount of Jerome Ford just because we do know who and what he is. And, he's veteran status at this point. I think that we know who he is. But curious on Dylan Sampson. Pierre Strong, maybe more special teams. Maybe we'll see him there. But these other guys, we'll see Toa, we'll see Travion Williams, Amani Marshall. Those guys, I think, are going to get very valuable reps. A comment here that I do want to highlight. Let me see. Something that we haven't really talked about at all is David Njoku's progress. And, as we continue to have conversations and speculation on him signing a new contract, one thing that does come with David Njoku, and we love him, we're huge, fans of David Njoku, is his inconsistencies with catching the ball. Hopefully that is something that is ironed out. But having, 2 tight ends in there pretty much at all times, I think could potentially help maybe ease the load a little bit, but also take valuable reps away from David Njoku. But I agree with this. Really got to be consistent with catching. That's not something that's really been talked about. So I'm glad that comment was made.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Jason, we don't talk about that because you don't talk about those people. But from what I could see, everything looked really good at camp so far. And we'll just let him keep doing what he's doing.
What are you talking about?
His comment.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is this comment here has the kicker? Okay.
Yeah. You're not supposed to talk about those things, right? You just let those guys – if you don't hear from them, that means they're doing their job and they're great.
There you go. Before we move along here, I want to tell you about our friends over at True Fan Travel. Think of them as your ultimate sports road trip buddy, all about bringing you closer to the heart-pounding action of your favorite away games, whether you're cheering from the stands or soaking in the local vibes. They make sure that every trip is packed with those I was there moments. So grab your gear, make some memories with True Fan Travel.
And I was going to say, remember, guys, code Brownies for $100 off your London trip. They have about 45 packages they're trying to finish off for London. And then if you want to go to Vegas, I'm excited about Vegas. Win or lose, it's still Vegas. $100 off that package as well using the code Brownies. All one word, Brownies, $100 off. Who doesn't want an extra $100 in their pocket to put in a slot machine? I mean, David and Allie like an extra $100 to throw while they're gambling. By the way, I've gotten to see Allie and David gamble in real time, and they like to gamble. By the way, Allie, I do, before we end the show, because we're kind of having a fun show tonight, and it's a little freelance. But when we get near the end of the show, I did a parlay bet, and I want your guys' opinion if I'm crazy or not for what I did on a parlay bet.
Why do we have to wait to the end of the show? Hit me with it right now.
Okay, I know you guys. See, I knew you're a degenerate.
Yeah, you need to know.
All right, here we go. Now this is crazy. So I'm going to give you the bet, and what I want you. So by the way, this is an 8-team. This is eight legs. Okay, that's what we got here, and I'm only using what a team's win total or loss total is, and I'll tell you how much I put in. $20. So this bet is made. So Cleveland Browns 4.5.
Over.
Yep, that's what I got. The over. Yep. Over Houston Texans 7.5.
Okay.
You feel good about that? So far so good.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Under 9.5 for the Vikings. They have a very tough schedule. Very tough, and their quarterback situation is kind of meh.
Yeah, I'm sold so far.
9 and 8. Okay. Now this was the outlier, and this is where I kind of went hedge back and forth. Under 7.5 for the Jaguars. They have a tough schedule, but I have them at 7-10. They're not going to be terrible this year, but they're not going to be great. So like 7 wins, 7-10.
That's a tough one. Hard to know. I have no idea how the Jags are going to be this year. They could be AFC champions good, or they could be picking top 3.
David, how do you feel about these so far?
I mean, I agree with all of them. I like them all so far, but yeah, just like you said, this is a tough one to know what they're going to be like.
Okay, next one, and we've talked about this, Allie, could be a sneaker, but over 8.5 for the Steelers. 9 wins. They're always mediocre, 9-8. I think that's fair, right?
It's the safe bet.
Yeah. Tampa Bay over 9.5. I think Baker can get 10 wins, 10-7.
I agree. Yeah.
And David, you're going to love this one. And this was one you have a tough start, but you get a lazy ending, which I think puts them up on the high. 10.5 for the Lions, so 11-6.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely can do it. They have the team for it.
Yeah. $20 pays me $2,000.
I think that's a good bet. I really do. I don't think anything on.
But that's not crazy. That's not a crazy bet.
I agree. I think the two difficult ones really to predict are the Jags and the Vikings. Vikings specifically.
I forgot one. Sorry.
Okay.
Vegas 5.5, 6 wins or more. I think they're a playoff team, sneaky playoff team.
Yeah.
6
I don't
wins.
know about playoffs. I could see 6 wins.
All they have to do is get 6 wins. They got Ashton Genty, they got Geno Smith, and they got look at their head coach. Like that's a 6-win team. Yeah.
Oh.
That's different than playoffs.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm saying they're my dark horse to make the playoffs because they could get to 9 or 10 wins. I'm saying, but I got them at 5.5. 6 seems pretty good.
Okay. But I think the two, like I said, Jacksonville, Vikings, those two, it's really hard to tell what they're going to do. I think both teams, I mean, there's no idea. JJ McCarthy, we have not seen him. So there's no way of knowing what he's going to be. He could be great, or he could, this is kind of his rookie season. So I don't know. I don't think it's a crazy bet though. I like it.
By the way, I've also learned about this crazy because I'm now getting into sports betting online because everybody can do it. It's legal in Ohio, so I'm not in trouble for saying this. But guess what? I also know there's a cash out option as the season goes on, so I can cash out. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It'll let me if it feels like my bet is risky or they're at risk. I can cash out. I already have I think I'll cash out over 1,000. Like if it gets over 1,000, because I don't want to have a leg of 7. And I miss it number 1.
Yeah. 2,000. Yes, you would cash out. Real quick, let me tell you about our friends over at City Barbecue. If you're looking for lunch or dinner, head on over to City Barbecue. Or they can also cater your event. So if you got a corporate event, maybe a shower of some sort, or any other party, they can cater those events. They've got award-winning sauces, meats, sides. They do it right. They're great people. So be sure to check out our friends over at City Barbecue.
Yes. I was just going to say 6 Northeast Ohio locations, and I know we have a lot of viewers down towards Columbus, and they have a lot of locations in Columbus where they originated down in Columbus, Ohio. So.
Yes. I've got one for you guys, and I'll let you two work together on this. I saw this really just before I went on, and I think this is difficult. I want to see if you guys can do it together. This is not, Dustin versus David kind of thing, but since 2000, the Browns have drafted 13 quarterbacks.
Oh.
Can you name them all?
Oh, Allie, you are really doing this to us? I was like, what are we going to talk? By the way, I asked Allie for show notes. This wasn't on it, but this is why she does it.
I literally just got this.
Can I name the 13 that we drafted?
Yep, since 2000.
Okay, so David, I'll start. Okay, so this is since what year? 2000. And by the way, I'm going to put my phone over here, so I'm not cheating. So since 2000?
Since 2000.
Okay, so Tim Couch is out, right? I'm assuming Tim Couch is out because he was drafted in '99. Okay, I'm gonna go. I got some. So you ready? And there's 13. There's 13. There's
13 since 2000.
Okay. All right. Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn. Yes, I'll cross him off the list.
Charlie Fry.
Charlie Fry. Yes.
Deshaun Kaiser.
DeShone Kizer, yes.
Baker.
Brandon Weeden.
Brandon Weeden.
Yeah, and DTR. He said DTR as well.
DTR, yes.
So
Shador,
we got
Gabriel.
6 of them so far. 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6.
There's going to be some obvious ones here. Who am I? Oh, Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel.
Yep. That's 7.
I mean, Shador and Dylan.
Warren Dillon, yep. Okay.
Oh, wait. The obvious one, Shador and Dylan Gabriel. There we go. Boom, boom. So what do we got? 9 now?
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow. David, we only need 4 more. We're doing pretty good.
4 more.
All right. 4 more.
I mean, I would say, at this point,
Don't give us any hints. Don't give
I'm
us
not
any
going to,
hints.
but at this point, on who you've guessed and who's remaining, I mean, David, you weren't watching the team probably a lot during this time. This is reality. So you weren't really watching this. So, might have to go on Dustin. But you just drop him.
He just fell. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I got Brady Quinn.
Yep.
I got Brandon Whedon. Charlie Fry. I know I'm in that realm, but I'm just trying to think of all the quarterbacks. I'm trying to picture that jersey. It has all
I got
those
one.
You got one?
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy, yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. So we're down to 3.
Left.
Colt McCoy. And these are drafted Browns.
Correct.
You got Deshaun Kaiser. I know you already said that, David. Who am I forgetting?
One of these I probably wouldn't have gotten, but the other 2 are, you would know.
I'm going to throw this one out there. I don't think this is one, but Spurgeon Wynn.
Spurgeon Wynn.
Oh, yes!
Yep.
Spurgeon Wynn. That's probably the toughest. Now, what are the next 2? Because Spurgeon Wynn is like a rando. Okay. 2. Wow.
I can give you the years of when they were drafted if that helps.
Well, we're down to 2 now. So hang on. So I don't think I want a hint if I can pull off all these. Spurgeon Wynn. Brandon Whedon, Charlie Fry. I'm thinking about the guys we all gave a chance for like a year and then we moved on. God. Brady Quinn, we said, right?
Yep.
Johnny Manziel. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to have to go year. Let's give me the year.
The year of one of them that was drafted. He was a 3rd-round pick in 2016.
Oh my God, the bad years. The really, really bad years.
Really bad. Really, really bad. He was a 3rd-round pick, and if you need the school, I'll give it to you also. But let's see if you can get it first with when he was drafted in the year.
I like how Angel's popping in here. I can say one.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, Angel, if nobody knows, he is one of the co-hosts of the Amazing Bearded Browns podcast. Great guys. Go watch them on Tuesday night, 7:30. There's a shameless plug. Let's see. 2016. Who the hell do we even have a quarterback in 2016?
Do you need a school?
What's that? Give me the school. Give me the
He
school.
went to USC.
USC.
He went to USC.
Who was the quarterback? 2016 USC. I mean, they have decent quarterbacks there. Dang. Oh, I'm okay. Let's pass on that one. Give me the other year of the other quarterback.
Yeah, the other one remaining was drafted in the 4th round in 2004.
And which round?
In the 4th round in 2004.
Oh man, that guy's sitting away on the depth chart. 2004. So this guy might have got playing time after Kelly or after 10.
I will also tell you. Do you want his
the school? Yeah, the school.
So I will tell you, he started 4 games in 2004, and then in 2005 he was traded. But he went to Louisiana Tech.
Oh my gosh, I think I could see David's stumped too. I mean, we got a third and a fourth rounder.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you this one because I wouldn't have guessed it. But Luke McCown is the answer for this.
Oh, no, I remember him. Yeah, damn. Okay, Luke McCown. Yeah.
Yep. All right. But back to 2016. Come on. Browns legend.
Browns. Can I have the first letter of their first name?
C.
What is it?
C. I'll give you their initials. CK. All right. I'll just give it to you. It's Cody Kessler.
Oh, Cody Kessler.
Come on. But yes, so since 2000, the Browns have drafted 13 quarterbacks, and they are Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, DTR, Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, Cody Kessler, Sean Kaiser, Brandon Whedon, Colt McCoy, Brady Quinn, Spurgeon Wynn, Luke McCown, and Charlie Fry. That's crazy.
Actually, if you want to just, you might as well throw Tim Couch in there. Since the rebirth of the Cleveland Browns, we got 14 quarterbacks we've drafted. I mean, if we're just.
Played is a totally different story, and that's probably an entire.
Jason, I echo. God, these are horrible. I agree.
That's.
This is like where quarterbacks. Well, they always say this is where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, that kind of puts it in a nutshell. Man,
it does.
14, all right. Okay, you realize we're in 2025. That's 26 years. That means every other year we're basically drafting a quarterback. That's wild numbers.
Yeah.
Now obviously we had a 2 for this year, but still, like every 1.5 years you're drafting a quarterback. That is insane.
And when you look at it that way, it you can understand maybe why the Browns wanted to have 2 first-round picks in next year's draft with a very heavy quarterback draft. And obviously we hope that maybe one of these guys is the answer, but you can see statistically speaking that you kind of have to take a shot. And the next question is, how many of these guys were first rounders? Not many of them. When you have the opportunity in the first round to take quarterback.
Yeah, back to Nathan Zagura's comment. How many non-first rounders really do make it in the National Football League? He goes, exponentially, those percentages go way off the cliff once you get past the second round.
Right. Yeah. So it's interesting.
The Tom Brady's, Brock Purdy's, Dak Prescott's of the world, they aren't out there. They are few and far between.
Few and far between. Exactly. Dustin, why don't you tell our listeners about Lady Caroline?
Guys, Lady Caroline, I got to go on this ship Friday night with Kristen Kursky. It was a great, great time with all the Browns backers. But guess what? We have our cruise on September 6th. Come join us at noon, 12 to 2, with all Browns fans. Our friends from Lorello Vineyards will be there doing some amazing samplings of the Here We Go Brownies wine, also the ice wine. By the way, use the code Brownies. You get 20% off your cruise. Basically, you get the cruise for $50. What do you get for $50? You get lunch. You get a Yacht Rock DJ. You get hundreds of dollars in prizes. You get Lake Erie Distillery whiskey, the wine, and get to hang out with a bunch of Browns fans the day before the kickoff game against the Cincinnati Bengals. So join us September 6th for that cruise. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Yacht Rock. It's a whole category. Who knew? Yacht Rock.
Yeah, there you go. Also, while you're in Cleveland, maybe check out the Greater Cleveland Aquarium. Bring the family. Some great exhibits. Dustin was there live from the Shark Tank. You can speak to it. It's a really cool building. Great exhibits. Be sure to check out our friends over at Greater Cleveland Aquarium. Before we wrap up, just a couple of other things kind of around the league. Since we last spoke on our podcast last week, Dustin, 2 major players in the National Football League have requested trades, that being Terry McLaurin and Micah Parsons. Let's just kind of go around the room here, and let's start with Micah Parsons on kind of what we expect. David and I were talking about it. I really I find it hard to believe that Jerry is, 1, going to pay him, but 2, I also find it hard to believe that he's going to trade him. So I think it's honestly more likely that maybe they will trade him. Where do you fall on this, Dustin? What do you think?
Well, also, when a person, their only job in life is to run a football team, they meddle too much. And I think Jerry Jones meddles too much in this stuff. And he doesn't leave it up to his GM and the people that should be running his team. Sorry, Jerry. But the fact that he said that they offered him $200 million guaranteed money. I mean, he kind of said that out publicly. I think that was a statement he made, that he offered like $200 million guaranteed money. I just don't know what's happening there. It's weird. I think one of them is going to blink. Well, let's just talk about Myles Garrett, the elephant in the room. Myles Garrett went on Super Bowl row to the media and said, I'm requesting a trade. I want to win a Super Bowl, yada, yada. Is this a play just to get more guaranteed money? Very well could be. And he blinks and he comes back to the Dallas Cowboys. I lean on that side of things. I think he's trying to get paid. He's deserving of it. He's a top-tier player. That's what he's going for. I don't think he gets traded.
I mean, I think it'll work. I mean, Myles Garrett did what he did, but he got paid, and it's kind of set the precedent for all other pass rushers right now. We know that Trey Hendrickson's kind of in a standstill with the Cincinnati Bengals. TJ Watt, he got a new deal. Now Micah Parsons. So, I mean, David, what do you think on this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't see Jerry giving in and trading him. The Cowboys kind of already had their big splash with trades, earlier this year or last year with George Pickens. And so I don't see them doing it again. And I don't see them moving off of this guy. Like, this is someone they want to have in Dallas for all of his career. It's one of those players, and it's going to take a lot for a team to trade for him. I mean, think about, like, if the Browns wanted to do it, they're going to have to give up one of their first rounders next year. And, any other team is going to have to give up something equivalent. And, when it comes down to it, someone like the Browns or the Steelers, or someone who has already a high profile defensive end in the locker room, bringing this guy in and paying him more, it's going to be bad optics too. The team is not going to agree to that. So it's not going to be one of those teams. I mean, I could see it being like the Bills. I don't think the Lions would do it, but ultimately I don't think he's going to get traded.
Bills, Bears, Chargers, maybe a team like that needs rush help. I could see. Terry McLaurin, this one was kind of surprising. The Commanders had a great season last year with rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels kind of leading the helm there. Terry McLaurin was their guy, has been really since, I mean, if we go back a couple of years, the Commanders, Washington football team, the Redskins back in the day, they were trash for the past few years. Terry McLaurin was their, like, one shining bright spot, and now he's requested a trade. What do you think with this one? Do you think it's more likely that he stays or gets traded? David, I'll start with you.
I think they're gonna pay him. I think that they're gonna bow down and they are going to give him his deal because he is their wide receiver room. I mean, you trade him away, you let him go somewhere. What do you got? Debo as your number one now, and we see how that ended up in San Francisco. So I mean, if they want to continue to compete and try and make a return appearance in the NFC Championship like they did last season, they need him. He has good chemistry with Daniels. Like, he is the guy that they can rely on. And I mean, he's a wide receiver one. Like, they're going to pay him. They have to.
What do you think, Dustin?
Yeah, and for me, you're right. I think he feels like I look at this almost like Higgins with the Bengals. Hey, I've been here. I was in the Super Bowl. I got us here. I deserve to be paid. His frustration comes from, I think he just wants a longer-term deal. And he's said that publicly, that he's frustrated and he wants a long-term deal. And there's probably some semantics where they want to sign him to maybe a shorter-term deal to have some more leverage on contracts in the future. So they got to find somewhere in the middle. Obviously, he wants that long-term deal. Short-term, they're probably in the intermediate range trying to sign him, but I think they're going to find somewhere in the middle. And again, he will fit at the end of the day, because you're right, David. Who else are they going to have?
That's Purdy, isn't it? Yeah, that's her. Okay. It's not stadium mustard. It's, what is that? French's doodle mustard.
Doodle. French's golden doodle.
That's her favorite. So she's nuts. We'll go ahead and start to wrap up here because she's crazy. Before we wrap up, though, Dustin, tell our listeners about Prime Time.
That's right, guys. I got to spend some time down with some Browns legends last Friday. Look for some more signings from these guys coming up. But more importantly, if you have not gotten to look at the signing for August 10th, that's right, August 10th, it'll be right around the corner with Sophia Cunningham down in Indianapolis. Get your stuff in for that signing. But I was able to meet Ernest Biner, Michael Dean Perry, The Fridge, William Perry, Our friend K-Mac, the one you knocked a golf ball off the top of his golf cart, was there, along with Tom Darden and those guys. But yeah, look for their stores, guys. They have one in Belton Village, also Hartville, also Streetsboro, and also Great Northern Mall. But always look for some great items to go in there and purchase for birthday gifts or whatever. But they have a lot of great stuff. And by the way, the one in Belton Village, if you're not a sports person, they have a whole music section, Taylor Swift stuff, different sports. So they have a lot of different genres of memorabilia in there other than just sports if you're not a sports person.
It's really cool. Also, we want to tell you about our friends over at We Bleed Ohio. Get your official Here We Go Brownies podcast hat, t-shirt, what have you. Or if you're looking for some football apparel or maybe even some baseball or basketball designs, they can do that for you as well. So be sure to check out our friends over at We Bleed
Allie,
Ohio.
real quick, I want to show you this. This shirt, I think David would love it as well. By the way, this is hot. And you always know when you know something's hot and it starts selling like mad cakes. He put this shirt, and it's hard to see, I know, but it's a skeleton guy that says, keep on waiting. And he's basically dying in a chair with a Cleveland flag. This thing is,
David he loves bones.
I love bones.
Okay, do you see that, David? How great is that?
That's fantastic.
That's a good shirt.
I wonder if it's anatomically accurate.
But literally, it's a guy dying in his chair trying to see the Browns win. So you're a 2X, right, David? We'll have to get you a 2X of that. Are you a 2X? Is that right, 2X?
Yeah.
Allie, I know you're small, so small
All
and
right.
2X.
Okay. Before we wrap up, here's my favorite song.
SOS, I could use a hero right about now. My favorite love is upside down. H-E-R-O, where do we all go? SOS, I could use a hero right about now. My favorite love is upside down. H-E-R-O, I crave a hero.
All right, there she is. There is the birdie of the program right there, playing with her mustard. We need to get her some
Birdie! Hi, Birdie! Oh, Birdie.
Yep,
Oh,
there she is. She's hard. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, Browns fans, go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.